One day, the Prophet called all the people of Medina to the mosque. Usually, the Prophet calls everyone to the mosque only to announce very important matters, like news during a war or some other serious situation. Whenever such an emergency happens, people quickly run to the mosque with worry and fear. Everyone begins asking questions. What happened? Are enemies coming to attack the Muslims? Is there a war somewhere? Or did something happen to the Prophet? With these thoughts, the companions hurry toward the mosque in concern. But when they arrive, they see something very different. The Prophet is sitting calmly, smiling, and looking happy. In front of him, there are about 30 people. Some other companions notice that they have never seen these people before in Medina. It looks like they have come from another land. The Prophet then speaks to the people of Medina. He says that these people are from Palestine. Until recently, they were Christians, but at this moment, they have accepted Islam. They came after hearing about the message that the Prophet had been preaching. Because of this important event, the Prophet gathered everyone in the mosque so that he could share the news with all of them. The Prophet then introduces the 30 people to the companions. He calls their leader forward and says, "This is Tamim Adari. Okay, they have come from Palestine." Tamim Adari was a very wealthy businessman. The Prophet asks him to tell his story himself. So Tamim Adari begins speaking to the people of Medina, while the Prophet and the companions listen carefully. Tamim Adari says that he was born in Palestine. He was very rich and worked as a trader. Because of his business, he used to travel to many parts of the world. At that time, he was a Christian. He often spoke with Christian priests and scholars in Palestine and learned from them. He was known as a sincere and thoughtful believer. During his travels, he once met Muslim traders from Mecca. From them, he heard news about a new prophet who had appeared in Arabia. This news spread everywhere. When Tamim Adari returned to Palestine, he discussed this news with the Christian priests he respected. The priest told him something surprising. They said that according to their scriptures, a prophet was going to appear in Arabia. They believed that the man Tamim had heard about might truly be that prophet. Because of this, they advised him to go and meet the prophet himself. So Tamim Adari decided to travel. He gathered 30 people and they set out on a ship toward Medina. It was a journey that would become very famous in history. They sailed for many days across the sea. Suddenly, one day, the sea became extremely rough. Huge waves began crashing against their ship. They were afraid that the ship would break apart. The storm became so violent that they could no longer control the ship. Eventually, the ship was pushed toward a small island. They managed to land there and got off the ship. They began walking across the island to see where they were. Suddenly, they saw a strange and frightening creature in front of them. They could not even tell what was its front and what was its back. It was covered with thick hair and looked very strange. They had never seen anything like it before. They were terrified. Then the creature spoke. It asked them who they were. They were shocked because the creature could speak. Then said, "I am al-Jassasa." In Arabic, this word means a spy. Kecha told them that if they walked a little farther, they would find a cave, and that someone inside the cave was waiting for them. After saying this, the creature disappeared. The travelers were very frightened. Who could be waiting for them on such a mysterious island? With fear in their hearts, they continued walking. Soon, they found a large cave. When they entered the cave, they saw a huge man inside. They had never seen anyone so large in their lives. The man had very long hair and a long beard. His hands were tied behind his neck, and his legs were tied together with chains. He looked extremely powerful. With great fear, they spoke to him and asked, "Who are you?" The man replied, "First tell me who you are." They answered, "We are Arabs from Palestine. We were traveling by ship. During our journey, we were caught in a storm and our ship was pushed toward this island. While walking here, we met a strange creature who told us to come and meet you." After hearing their story, the large man began asking them questions. he asked about the date palm trees of Bazan in Jordan. K, he asked whether those trees were still producing fruit. K replied, yes, they still produce many dates. He said, soon there will come a time when those trees will stop producing fruit. Then he asked about the lake of Tiberias. He asked whether there was still water in it. They answered, yes, there is still plenty of water in it. He said, soon a time will come when that lake will dry up completely. They were surprised to hear these things because those places were known for their abundance. Then he asked another question. Asked, has a man appeared in Makkah claiming to be a prophet? They replied, yes, he has appeared. But because of the persecution of his enemies in Makkah, he migrated to Medina. He asked, have people followed him? They said, yes, many people have joined him and believed in him. We ourselves are on our way to meet him. The large man then said, if that is true, then it is best for you to follow him. After hearing all these strange questions, Tamim Adari finally asked the man, who are you? The man lifted his head and replied, I am Amasi ad-Dajjal. Tamim Adari and his companions were shocked. They had just met the Dajjal himself. The Dajjal then told them that all the things he had asked about were signs of the Day of Judgment. The drying of Lake Tiberias, the disappearance of the palm trees of Bazan, and the coming of the Prophet Muhammad were all signs. He also said that when the time comes, he will be released from that place. He will travel across the world and spread corruption everywhere. However, he said that there are two places he will never be able to enter, Makkah and Medina. When Tamim Adari finished telling this story, the Prophet pointed with his stick toward the ground and said, this is Tajiba, meaning Medina. The Prophet confirmed that Dajjal will never enter Makkah or Medina because angels guard these cities. The Prophet also explained that when Dajjal appears, he will perform many strange acts that will look like miracles. Okay? Many people will be deceived by him and will believe in him. For example, he will show people illusions that make it seem like he can bring the dead back to life. Some people who are weak in faith will believe him and follow him. But eventually, Dajjal will be defeated. According to the Prophet Isa, Jesus will return and will defeat Dajjal at a place called Lut in Palestine. After Tamim Adari accepted Islam, he became a very respected companion. During the time of the Caliph Umar, he even led the people in the Tarawih prayers. He was known for his beautiful recitation of the Quran. He was also very generous and spent much of his wealth in charity. He continued trading but used his wealth to help Islam in the Muslim community. Many hadith are reported from him. He once narrated that even feeding an animal for the sake of Allah can bring the reward of charity. Tamim Adari remained a devoted Muslim for the rest of his life, and his story about meeting the Dajjal remains one of the most remarkable stories narrated by the companions.